Greetings, boomers. Welcome back to Disenthrall. I will be Patrick Smith. Today we have with me the Shepard, the voluntarist. Thank you for joining me, Shepard. He requested that we do this video, so I'm going to let him sort of drive it as we go. Shepard, what did you want us to go through today?
Well, I'm a big fan of your show, as you know, and I hear you saying, well, just go onto the Disenthrall, blah, 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 server, Matrix, and this and that. And I don't know what Matrix or Discord or Snitch or Snatch or any of those things are. I can figure out email, and I have some basics. And so what I thought is, if I'm not the only person out there who's a little bit slow in terms of technology, I did finally make it onto your server, site, chat room, whatever it is. And it's so wonderful that I'd love to be able to have my friends get on, but they're not as tech savvy as I am. So I'm hoping that you can walk me through the whole process of how to get on there and have conversations with really smart people that aren't censored. And I know I'm going to see some F-bombs and such that might not be my thing, but there's so much good gold in there. I just want to know how to get on and see it.
So there are two things. There is a way of communicating with people that we call you'll probably heard the term Discord, a Discord server. What that means is it's a series of chat rooms. I'm sure you're familiar with chat rooms, right? So like places that multiple people go and they type at each other and they have conversations. And think of that plus like a Zoom meeting where you can join with your voice and actually talk to people over voice communication. So text chat rooms plus voice communication, voice meetings. It's sort of like a meeting, a voice chat room that's always open. It's like a meeting that's always open. Anybody can drop into the meeting whenever they want, and whoever's in there, they can just continue talking. So that's kind of the thing that we're talking about here. Discord.
Kind of like a conference call with a bunch of people on the conference call. Anybody can talk at any time.
Yeah, an always open conference call that people can drop in and out of when they want to hang out or chat or debate or philosophize or, share F-bombs, whatever they want to do. So Discord is the company that makes the most popular version of the software called Discord. They are also they are very censorious, meaning that they watch what people type and they ban people's accounts if they say things or share things that they don't approve of. So some beautiful nerds, beautiful nerds have made a decentralized, I don't want to get too heavy into the buzzwords. So they've made an alternative software that we can use to satisfy many of the same things that we talked about with text chat and voice chat. And it is called Matrix, a Matrix server. So instead of a Discord server, you have a Matrix server. Now, I use my channel's resources to pay for and maintain the server part so that it's under my direct control and so that I can make sure that it is not censored by some large activist corporation. So we call my server, just the name of my Matrix server, we call it Disenthrall. Because my platform's name is Disenthrall, and it's a Discord replacement, so Disenthrall is the name. And I think I'll put the address up here for just throughout the video, so you can know what we're talking about, because you're going to need this address soon. Hopefully you can see that, Shepard. I don't know if you can see my screen.
And so
go ahead.
Yes, I can. And just to catch you up, until I started following you and such, you were talking about a channel's resources and a server and a Discord. Long story short, what we're going to walk through, if somebody just follows the same steps we're doing, we don't have to know what a channel is or a Discord or anything. We'll just have a system that we can get in and talk to other people with, like a conference call, text chatting, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I'll show it here on the screen. This is the program that you use. And once we get you logged in, I can walk you through kind of the different parts of the program and how to use it. So our first job, Shepard, is going to get you this program. And the step one of doing that is opening your web browser and going to the website element.io. So the screen that I'm showing behind me, everyone, the screen that I'm showing behind me is Shepard's screen. So I'm going to be walking him through installing the program called Element. Element is the name of the program that you use to connect to our Matrix server. That's really the names. That's the names of everything involved. You have Element, which is the software, connecting to Matrix, which is the server. On this webpage, in the top right, you see a button that says Get Element. Click that button. We're just going to we're going to download this software. Scroll down a little bit to desktop, because we're going to download there's a mobile app too, if you want to go that route. But today I think we're just going to do the desktop app. So in the desktop section, you want to click Windows if you're Windows and Mac if you're Mac. It should work the same way on both types of computers.
Okay.
Save the file somewhere that you can find, be it in your downloads directory or your desktop or wherever you want.
I'll do it in downloads here.
All right.
Okay.
It's about 100 meg, so however long that takes on your connection, it might take 30 seconds. It probably shouldn't take too much longer than that. And then, so the file that it downloads is called elementsetup.exe.
Okay.
That's Brave. That's not it. You scroll down to Element Setup.
Okay.
It's at the bottom there.
Got it.
Yep.
Element Setup. I'm double clicking with my left mouse button, and I see something spinning. Looking good. It's working. It's thinking.
It is installing, and it is done. It is already installed. You didn't even have to click next, finish. That is the installation. We are ready to now log in. So we've started the program. Okay. It's installed. It's ready to go. I bet if you even looked in your start menu right now, if you click your start button in the bottom left, I bet you'll find Element in the list. You do. There it is. Element. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. So it's installed. That was easy, right?
Okay. We're installed.
So now we need to create your account on our server. So you want to click the Create Account button. Yep.
Okay.
Now, this is a spot that a lot of people kind of mess up on. So I want to be really slow and methodical to make sure we get this part right. We have to change the address that it connects to by clicking that little edit button in the top right.
Okay.
Yep. Now, it wants you to connect to matrix.org's server, which is their server, which they can censor, which would defeat the entire purpose. So we're not going to do that. We're going to click Other Home Server, the little radio, the little circle right there. Then click Continue. Oh, sorry. We were supposed to type in the address right there. I have the address right here on the screen. There you go. This is the address you should type in right there, exactly as you see it, really big letters on the screen. I'll read it out slowly just to make sure we get all the characters. https://discord, that's DISENCORD DISENTHRALL.me. M-E. And here's the thing that a lot of people forget, and for some reason the program is really picky, but you have to put a slash on the end as well. So make sure you put a
okay. Now I didn't capitalize Disenthrall. I should probably capitalize that, right?
Capitalization does not matter. So luckily, that's one thing we don't have to worry about. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Now you should be able to click the Continue button. Now it's great. So great. It's talking to our server. So now you get to create your account. So this is cool. I don't know how much you want to talk, Shepard, about the encryption on the server, but basically everything is super private, and only the people that you sort of want to talk to can see it. Not even me as the server administrator can see the contents of conversations with that I'm not a part of. So if you're not talking in a public room, not me, probably not even the government, can see what you're talking about. That comes with a little bit of extra work that we'll get to in a second. Just something else you might want to do. But let's just move on. So the first step is to pick your username. So whatever you want to be known by on the server. And Shepard, just a reminder, whatever you do here, we're going to have to delete later because we don't want people logging in as this account. All right. So.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So you pick your username and then you choose your password and you enter your password twice. This is standard behavior when you're creating accounts on anything, right? You want to create, as always, you want to create a complex password so that nobody else can guess. And there is some requirements. So you can't use like password 12345. You can see it's giving you an error. Common names and surnames are easy to guess. Like it's going to tell you if you've picked a password that's too easy.
Okay.
This might you might have to think of a few things. And you definitely don't want to forget this. If you forget this, you will not be able to log into the server.
Okay. I'll do my area code. And then I'll do thrall. I should be writing this down on my tablet.
It likes that one. Whatever you entered, it likes. See, it says, nice, strong password, exclamation point. It's rewarding you. It's giving you a digital cookie.
Wonderful. I feel like a good person. Okay, then I'm going to do it again. Okay, it likes that. And then I don't even have to give it my email, do I?
Let me clarify, because you have a choice. You do not have to have an email address on this server, which allows you to be more anonymous if you want to be. However, if you forget your password, you will not be able to do like a I forgot my password, please help me thing. And it will not be able to send you an email that will let you change your password if you forget it, because it doesn't know your email because you didn't enter one. So if you are super responsible with your usernames and passwords and stuff, then maybe you don't need an email. But if you ever lose this stuff, you might wish you had entered one here. It's up to you.
Okay. For my privacy, I'm not going to, since we're going to delete this anyway. But normally, I would definitely put it in. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and register then.
Click register. Yep. And it's doing the exact same thing I just did.
It said what you said.
Continue without email. It was
eavesdropping on you, young man.
It said, just a heads up, if you don't enter an email, we can't help you if you lose your stuff. That's basic. Up and see, I see on my window that old man just joined the server. All right. That is it. That is technically, you are done and ready to go. There are some housekeeping stuff that you would be wise to do. If you so choose. Shepard, would you like me to kind of walk you through that stuff?
Yeah, I want to do it right. And I want to do it if it's possible so that I don't have to do it over and over. I'd love to just do everything right the first time.
Okay. So because everything is encrypted and super secure on this server, this program manages your keys. It's sort of like keys to your house. If you lose the keys, you will not be able to get into the house anymore. And you won't be able to, in this case, like read messages people sent you. So it's important that you have like a second key. Like you don't just have one key to your house. That would be kind of risky, right? You go and get a copy made and you keep the copy.
Put it under put it under the doormat under the front door. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So what it's asking us to do in the top left right now is, hey, you should back up your key. To do that, click continue. And it's saying, hey, let's figure out how we want to do this. There's two ways. You can have it come up with some words that you will want to write down and remember, or you can enter a longer password. Those are the choices. I think the easiest way to do it is for it to generate words and me just to write down the words, because I don't know, that's just what I think is kind of easier than remembering yet another really long password, right? So I'll leave it up to you, Shepard, which one you'd prefer to do.
I trust you. We'll do that one.
Okay. So click continue. So there we go. And you can even, so this is, and it's not even words, it's just letters, right? This is, I don't know. I can't, is this scary? I feel like this might be scary for somebody that doesn't know what's going on.
No, I think each of these, like this first one, and we're deleting this one so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
The ESTS, that is like one password, but in this case, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2, 12 passwords, but they're not really real English words. They're just kind of sort of words. So no, that makes sense. And it looks like it just lets me copy them here.
There's two ways to do it. You can download a file that will contain all of this stuff for you, so you don't even have to worry about writing it down. You can just have a file that you keep safe somewhere that you can use if you ever need it. Or you can click copy and then like paste it into a Word document that you save somewhere. So same thing either way. It'll let you download a file, or you can copy paste it into Microsoft Word or whatever. So you click the copy. He clicked the copy button, and now he's pasting it into Microsoft Word. So there you go.
Okay.
Ta-da! So that's all you need. Like if you ever need to regain access to the server, that key is like your master lock's key to get back into your house.
And it looks like these are case sensitive, so I have to capitalize or not for each one.
Well, hopefully if you ever need them, you'll just be able to copy paste them out of that Word document back into the program.
Oh,
so
that's smart.
You should never have to type this. It's just you want to keep that somewhere. Yep.
And just a little side trick that I learned is if with a PC, if I hold the left mouse button down and then I just drag, keeping the left mouse button down, it highlights everything. And then I can right click and it gives me an option to copy it. So I could just do that, couldn't I, if I needed to get back into it sometime?
Yep, that should work.
That's handy. Okay, got it.
Then you click continue. And it is setting up your keys. There you go. And then next it's asking for permission to send usage data back to them. I usually say no just because they don't need to know when I'm using anything. So that's easy. Okay, that's it. Okay. House cleaning done. You have access to the server. You are connected. Sort of the end of the how to connect tutorial is complete. You've installed it and you've connected with a new account that you created. Housekeeping is complete with backing up your keys. So from here, we might want to go into like the basic usage. So what you see on the left are the 4 primary chat rooms. This is for text chat.
Okay.
There's 2 little groups. There's people and rooms. Once you start making friends, and if you have private conversations with people, their names will appear in the people section. In fact, I should be able to send you a message from my account.
Oh, there's one.
Yep.
So I can click on that.
Now you get to pick if you want to talk to this person, you can click start chatting. If you don't, you can say reject and ignore, which will block me from ever messaging you again if it's somebody that you don't like. And there you go. Okay. So so when you accepted, now we have a private conversation just between you and I, super encrypted so nobody can see it, that isn't part of this conversation. And we can just chat back and forth.
Okay.
Just like every chat room ever. Yep.
Okay. And so I could even give you a phone call through this.
Yes.
Is that what at the bottom here? Okay.
Those kind of voice calls do work, though you probably, I don't know, your mileage may vary depending on your computer. Sometimes that might be a little bit more complicated to get working. You can send files to each other as long as they're not too big. You could, like if you want to send a picture or a Word document, you can click upload file and send a file. That stuff's kind of neat. You can also, send emojis if you know how to do that stuff with the little smiley face button or whatever.
Okay.
So there you go.
Oh, great. Cool. Okay.
So that's the people section. The room section is just like that, except it's full of a bunch of other people. The number 1 room, which says welcome, read these rules, is exactly that. There's nobody talking in there. You can click on it. If you scroll to the top, because you can see all these people that have joined, you get past all these messages. Where did it go?
Okay, that's my top.
Oh, scroll all the way to the bottom. The most recent messages are always at the bottom. So if you scroll down. Okay, so you can see you joined the room.
Okay.
Nice. Also, I'm not seeing the rules posted on your screen, so that might be a problem that I need to fix. Scroll back up.
That's as high as I can scroll.
Okay. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, there's rules for the server that are pretty simple. The main chat rules, Shepard, you can tell me how much you'd like me to get into this, but it's basically be friendly. This server is filled with good people because we get rid of the bad people. We don't want to spend a lot of time trying to moderate or control. We want it to be a more free place. But for it to be a free and friendly place, we have to get rid of the bad people. So just don't be one of the nasty people that's mean. We're trying to build a community of good, intelligent people that want to talk about cool topics. This is also, because it is a bastion of sort of free speech, free communication, it's also a place where some more risky thinking takes place and some more I don't know, edgy opinions will be posted, because you can't post them anywhere else on the internet right now because big tech has it locked down, right? So you expect to see some of that here. Go ahead and click on main chat.
Yeah, that was something I noticed that was good and bad. I thought about this room was that, or about this whole thing, is that if I wanted to say something like, I have this political opinion, you let me say that. But then if somebody else wants to say, hey, look at this naked picture, you let them do that also, because nobody's getting hurt. So if I'm going to let people, if I want my ability to say what I want, then I have to let them say what they want. And frankly, folks, I've seen a lot of F-bombs dropped in here, and there's some rough language, but I haven't seen pornography. I'm sure there's some there, but you can kind of, it's not that bad, but I do kind of want to warn you that if you're really, really sensitive, this isn't vanilla. This isn't church. There are a bunch of really young folks here in their 20s and 30s that play video games and curse and talk about drinking, and we're kind of playing in their ball field. And I think, just from looking at the ball field, like it's one well worth playing on. That's just my thought.
You said it really good. Like, part of freedom is the people behave. They don't always behave like you want them to. That's part of freedom. And so if you're going to be in a free space that doesn't nanny you like Facebook, well, they're not going to nanny you like Facebook. So you kind of have to expect people that don't want to be nannied to exist there. You will. So the screen that you're looking at is mostly blank right now. When you first create an account, you can't see the miles and miles of conversation that's already happened in here. Because again, like, here, I'll show you my window. This is my screen, and I'm in the same chat room as he is. But you can see I can scroll up through miles and miles of conversation that's gone on in here, because remember, the encryption keeps things private. So if somebody wasn't in here, they don't get to see that. So now that you're in this room, all future conversation you'll get to see. But it starts out looking blank. Trust me, it's not empty and not blank. There's a lot of chat that goes on. It's just you won't see it right at the beginning.
Right. Okay.
Let's see what's next. Oh, that said, see, Fallstar just said hi.
Ooh, somebody said hello to me. Can I respond to him here?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, or how do you spell howdy? There we go. Howdy. Oh, those young folks will like that. That's clever.
The other side of this, so this isn't a ruleless zone, right? So like, yeah, you have to expect some freedom. There's going to be some risky topics, definitely some cursing and some nudity occasionally. However, we don't allow the violent stuff here. No one advocates for violence. That stuff's not allowed. Certainly no like communists. We don't allow that. We don't allow like Nazis, any like the really crazy, none of that. So when I say freedom, yes, but within rational limits. It's, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Okay, so you can see at the top of the screen, actually, each channel has its own set of rules. If you go to the top of this window, it says channel rules for main chat have been updated, and there's a link on the right. See a little blue link there?
This one.
If you click that, it will take you to the rules for that room. there are different rules for different rooms because each room has a purpose. And that's worth pointing out probably.
Okay. You know what? That's what I think I messed up on, because one of the rooms has a rule that says only 2 people can be in a conversation at the same time. And I thought that applied to everything. So I didn't join in a conversation, but then later you said that I could have. So I think reading those thoroughly, I should have realized that they were separate for each room. Okay,
yeah, I'll give you the overview. So the main chat room, which is the one that you're in right now, it says main chat over there on the left. This is like the general conversation room. It's not meant for debating. It's not meant for super edgy content. It's not meant for pasting a lot of porn. Like, it's meant to be like a friendly, normal place to have good conversations with people. That's main chat. That's like the main place to go for conversation. I guess I can give you the overview of the other rooms that you see here.
Yeah.
The next room is meat and potatoes. When you click on that, again, up at the top, if you click on the text at the top, I think, this is the most sort of regulated room because it is made for formal debates. And so there's a list of rules that I will modify. I'll modify this so it shows up at the top.
Yeah, this is the room that I think I like best, is just kind of going in there and seeing what everybody's been arguing about. It's deep, intelligent stuff usually.
Okay, there you go. See it already updated on your screen. Okay, so now there's a link at the top. You can click that link and go ahead and click it. I think there's some good stuff in there just for people to know that this exists. This room is heavily moderated. No name calling. Use voice communications where possible. Don't troll. Keep debates between 2 people, because once you get into a serious, rational debate, you can't have cooks in the kitchen yanking the conversation all over everywhere. Don't interrupt people. Winning is finding truth, not winning. Don't use logical fallacies. Tackle one topic at a time. Don't put a bunch of pictures and memes and animations and stuff in here. It's not about that. If you're not debating, don't use this channel. Anyway, so there's just these kinds of rules. This channel is more regulated. It's meant for the cerebral folks that want to actually dissect issues and debate and have discourse to find truth. It doesn't have to be like a contentious debate. It can just be a conversation, but the point of the room is to find truth. So that is meat and potatoes.
Okay. And so this isn't the difficult one to enter. So we did Matrix. So on Matrix, access to post here is open to everyone. Awesome. So I'm already there. Good. I'll close that. I'm going to go back and read that in more depth.
Yeah, so those pages that you're looking at with the rules are for both our Discord server that we talked about earlier, as well as our Matrix server, which you're looking at now. So you can ignore the parts that talk about Discord in those documents.
Okay. It's a different program. Nothing I ever need to think about again unless I'm going to become a gamer.
And the rules for Discord, are way more stringent and nanny because the company is. So we don't care about them. Screw them. We're on Matrix. All right.
Okay.
So the next channel, if we click on content links, will be the next one down. This is for
interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to interrupt here just for a moment, just because here's something I was confused about when I first started. Is Patrick just said that we were on Matrix, but when I look here at the whole page, there's the word Matrix is nowhere to be found. Yep. However, right up here it says element. So when you think about it, Matrix is a word that you're going to hear used, but it really doesn't mean anything to you. All that you have to care about is element. You open up element and you get to talk, and the guys who know all about the tech stuff call it Matrix, but we can get there just by clicking element.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's good because it confuses literally everyone. Because I tell them to connect to our Matrix server and they need to open element to do that, and it's confusing. So I'm glad you pointed that out. Okay, so content links, and I put the rules up at the top too as well. This is much simpler. This channel is just for sharing links to stuff that you want people to see or that you think is important. If you have a link to it, see how that's like 2 lines. It's 2 lines. Those are the rules.
Okay.
It basically says, share content links to whatever you want, as long as it's not like, you like communist stuff or, a bunch of political stuff. So I guess
Okay.
that's not even true. Just like it's not for like advertising or anything like that. It's for share. Like if you found a video that discusses a topic that you're interested in, other people seeing, that's what this room is for. Not so general. A main chat is not for that. Like a lot of people will join the server, and the only reason they're on the server is just to share links to their podcasts constantly. They never talk. They're not really participating with the community. They just want to spam. And so that's why we made that rule. If you're sharing links to content, there's a channel to do that. That's why it's separate from main chat. That's all. So
Okay.
Let me know if I'm explaining this well.
You are. Now I have another question that's completely unrelated. Something I noticed is that a lot of the people on in these rooms, they have names that I don't know. I'm going back to meat and potatoes. Oh no, I meant main chat. So Fallstar. I don't know who Fallstar is, but I might know him from some convention I went to. What is the etiquette? Should I go in here and say, "Hi, Fallstar, what's your real name?" Or is that just there's a reason that they're not using their real name?
Both. So some people might use their real name. Mostly internet etiquette these days is to use a nickname, what's called like a handle, or an alias.
Okay.
It's you picked yours, like Old Man. I have no idea who Old Man is if I wasn't there when you created the account. Everyone else will see you as Old Man when you talk. And that is normal, expected discourse. Like no one, like you can pick whatever name you want and no one is going to be like, oh, that's weird. He didn't use his real name. Almost nobody uses his actual name, though you certainly can. It's totally up to you. And over time, you'll get to know people. Like I know most of these people's real names, and you know, even though I know their real names, I usually, like when I'm talking to them on voice chat, I'll still call them by their nicknames just because. So like people call me Not Governor, even though my name is Patrick Smith, just because that's sort of my nickname.
If there was somebody that I knew, like Kaysen, I would like to know who Kaysen is, but I don't want to get on here and say, like the person that we're watching here, TWOK, I don't want to get on here and say, hey, Twok, are you Kaysen? So would I guess I could just in my own private thing, I could write an email to Kaysen and say, hey, Kaysen, I'd like to have you up in my people section. How do I guess in Facebook it'd be called friending. How do I friend you on here? How do I find you? And then if he doesn't want to do that, he could just say, I want to keep that private.
Kaysen is on here. I don't know if he's online right now, but what you would do is you just type right here in main chat. You'd be like, hey, who is Kaysen on here? I want to get in touch with Kaysen. And then Kaysen will either respond by sending you a private message like I did, in which case he will appear in your people list. Or somebody else will be like, oh, hey, on this server, Kaysen's account is... I think he is. Yeah, taxation is theft. I just typed Kaysen's handle. Oh no, I put it in main chat. That was my bad. Or sorry, I put it in meat and potatoes accidentally. 1 second.
Now, if you mess up, you can delete it. That's good. Okay.
Yes, you can. So I just typed. I don't know how if you want me to go through tagging, which is what I just did. See how his name looks fancy instead of just text?
Yes.
I don't know if you want me to go into that. Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So
because I think when I come in here, I'll probably have a half a dozen people that I really want to chat with, and I'd like to know how to alert them that I'm here.
So tagging is a way to get a user's attention. So normally if we're just typing text, unless somebody checks the channel and opens Element and looks and reads, they won't know that any chat is going on. But if I am specifically talking to someone, or if I'm wanting to get their attention because I want to talk to them, you can do what's called tagging them, which means that when you're typing, and you can do this to me right now if you want, you can type the @ sign. So the number 2 key with a shift, so @ and then and then you type my nickname. So in this case, it's Not Governor. And as you type it, you'll see it's popping up. There's Not Governor and another person named Not Euron Brook. So if you click that, now you've tagged me. So when you type something, when you send that message, now on my phone, because I have the app on my phone, but also on my computer, it pings me. It gives me an alert. Hey, somebody is tagging you. Somebody's trying to reach you. So that's one way of using tags to get people's attention. And now when I open my element, I will see, oh, hey, there's a little notification in main chat. Somebody's talking to me. So I can go and pay attention to that. And other people can do that too. Here, I'll tag you right now. I'll tag you in.
Let me go to content links so that it would be like if I'm not even in the correct room, but you're going to tag me. You're going to ping me in main chat.
Yep. All right. Done. All right.
Okay. So I heard the beep and then I saw that pop up right here.
Yep. You get a little. Yep, the little red number 1 means there's at least one message that is to you or responding to you in there. Yep. And it's highlighted down there as well with your name.
Okay. And then if I wanted to reply to you without typing at, I could go up to that little reply thing here, right?
Yep.
What are my other options here?
Most of them you're not going to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not going to use any of those pretty much ever. So you'll use reply, or you can use a little smiley face. Like if you like my message, you can put a little smiley on it.
Okay. Great.
What else can I tell you? Should I tell about the other rooms that are on the server?
Yeah, because I heard that there was one, and I finally found it for the first time after having signed up for this for 2 weeks or so. There was one of them that I went in, and it was like you were talking earlier about the conference call where you could just hear voices. It wasn't all typing.
Those how should I say this? So when people are wanting to start a voice chat, then you'll see it pop up. So you're in main chat right now. I'm going to get this going here. Give me 1 second. Okay. So when there is a voice chat going on, you will see at the top of the window for this room, Jitsi video conference. This is almost exactly like Zoom. If you've used Zoom, it shows people's webcams. It lets people share their screen with each other, and it lets people talk with audio from their microphones. I wouldn't click it right now because you're already on a Zoom call. It might compete.
Okay.
It might compete with the Zoom call that we're on if you click it. But it works. It's pretty much exactly like that. So if you see this window at the top, it means that there's people chatting in here. That's how that works. When nobody's chatting, I usually remove it just so that people don't join all the time thinking that there's a conversation but nobody's in there, that kind of thing. So that's kind of how that works.
Okay. So if I just sign in, if I'm in main chat and I don't see Jitsi up here, then I know that nobody's having a video or voice conversation with each other.
Right. Like if you click into another channel, it won't be there, which means nobody is voice chatting in there. But if you go into main and you see it, that means there. So you might go into meat and potatoes, and there might be a Jitsi going on, which means that somebody's in there debating because it's a debate room, right?
Okay. Cool. So what is the etiquette? Like if I wanted to have a conversation about the best shampoo to get for my dog so that he doesn't itch as much, that's not really what this whole chat room, any of these chat rooms aren't really for that anyway. This is more for talking about philosophy and morality and such. Is that accurate? Or do some people get in here and just talk about whatever's interesting to them?
Meat and potatoes is for debating formal topics in a formal way according to the rules of reason and logic and evidence. Main chat is for community. So whatever you want to talk about, make friends, talk about your dog, get dog food recommendations, like whatever you want to, that's main chat. It's everybody hanging out and navigating their way through this life while their atoms are stuck together.
Right. And I think coming into something like this, technology like this, I just have to realize that what's important to me, planting petunias, might not be to everyone else on the room who is 15 years old to 40 years old, who is interested in playing video games and those kinds of things. So until there are a bunch of old fogies like me here, I can either learn how to talk about the Twitch games or just kind of wait until I see something I understand that I want to get involved in.
You know what? And if we get a lot of people like you that are not interested in a lot of the topics in main chat, we can add an additional room, maybe call it the Boomer Convention or something, and just have it be a place for you guys to hang out and chat. It's totally fine. We can do whatever we want because it's our server, unlike, using other people's programs. Like, we can conform to the needs of the people that are using it. So yeah, okay. Shepard, if you get a bunch of people to join that would like a separate room, we can create that very easily. Speaking of separate rooms, if you'd like, I can show you the other ones just so you're aware in case they pop up for you. Actually, let's start with people. So if you wanted to message somebody that wasn't up in your people section already, like my name's already there. So if you wanted to private message me, you could just click on Not Governor in the people section. But let's say you wanted to private message Twok. You would click on the plus icon next to people, start chat, yep. And you would type the name of the person that you wanted to go. So TWOK. And then you would click him down there. And then I would suggest not doing it unless you want to talk to him. But if you click go, it will add Twok to your people list and it will create a private chat with him. That's how you do that.
Okay. Okay, great.
I have no idea who Twok is, so.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's do the same thing for rooms. There are many chat rooms on this server. The 4 that you are automatically added to are the ones that you see here. Welcome, main chat, meat and potatoes, and content links. There are many. Each of the rooms have their own purposes and rules. You probably are not going to want to be in some of them. So click the plus next to the rooms. Yep. To add room. Explore public rooms. So now you're going to get a list of all of the rooms on the server, along with the numbers of people in each of the rooms. You can see there's quite a few. The ones that have the little black Disenthrall icon that kind of matches the others next to main chat, those are like the primary rooms.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, for the server. And they have numbers in the name as well. So like 01, 02, 03, 04. Those are like the primary rooms. The other ones are more esoteric. They're made for like small, like VODFW is for a group of people that exist here in Dallas, Texas. So if you're not interested in interacting about Dallas, Texas stuff, that room you can join it if you want, but it's Dallas people talking about Dallas things.
So if I join a room, like I'm part of main chat, this is everybody that's ever signed up for it. If I log off tonight when I go to bed, am I still counted as one of these?
Yes. Yep. If you close the program, you are still a member of that room. Now, if you wanted to,
gotcha.
If you wanted to, you could leave the main chat room and then you would not be, it wouldn't show up in your list on the left. And, certainly some people have left main chat. Like they're not all in there. Yep.
Okay, great.
Let me just give you a quick rundown of the main rooms for people wanting to branch out. So scroll all the way up. Let's see. Okay, main chat we know, content links we know, meat and potatoes we know, welcome we know. Memes and shit posts. This is the wild west of the server. This is where raunchy stuff gets posted. This is where comics, like funny comical memes get posted, making fun of every topic that you could possibly get offended about will be found in this room. It is not for the weak of heart. It is less regulated than all the other rooms. So, fair warning. That is the freedom. That is the risky freedom room.
That's where we'll find Andrew Dice Clay. Okay.
Okay. Next is the Gulag. This is a room where people post about. How do I describe the gulag? If a communist joins the server, we lock him in the gulag so he can't chat anywhere but the gulag.
Okay.
It is a place of punishment for people with violently bad ideas. So if you want to have fun with that's what that room is for. And you can kind of see, like, we've added this stuff. Some of it is just for fun and for laughs, and some of it is very purposeful and serious and regulated. And that's kind of the atmosphere. And that's freedom, though. Like in a free society, we're going to have places that are proper and prim and have rules of etiquette and of discourse. And then you have other places that are wild and crazy free for all. That's liberty. And this server is a good example of that. Vidya games is for people that want to talk about video games. So like if it's discussion that's very specific to gaming, that's where they do it. That is for you. If it's not for you, maybe you don't join. VODFW, like I said, is a local group. Paranoid Android is for talking about a lot of like conspiracy theory stuff. We have a small number of people that enjoy those kinds of discussions. You can join that room if that's your thing. Pay your taxes. The pay your taxes room is for agorists, and that's a whole video unto itself, but it's for people that want to trade, sell things, buy things, conduct business without being extorted. And so pay your taxes. Okay. The name of the room is kind of a joke. It's a meme because it's for people that expressly do not want to do that.
Okay.
Let's see.
Ooh, I like that.
Number 9 and number 10, Memetic Warfare Institute and Anarchist Dictionary. Those are for other websites that you can join if you're interested in those websites. So yeah, that's kind of the end of the summary, I suppose.
Okay. Now, what if my grandson says, hey, you're on Matrix? I am too, with a video game group I'm in. If you ever want to chat, like if I'm in main chat here and he's not part of the Discord thing, can I still chat with him?
This gets a little bit more complicated to explain, so let me try and boil it down. If you want me to. Like if I go too deep, tell me to stop. So we have a server that I pay for. That's what we're connected to. Like your Element software is connected to the server that I own right now.
Okay.
Other people have their own Matrix servers that they own with people that connect to them with their elements. And it's totally separate unless people want to talk to each other that are on different servers. And that's kind of the question you're asking, right?
Right.
Okay.
So if I say to my son, who is not interested in freedom or liberty or anything like this, he's just interested in playing video games, but he says, hey, next time you're on Matrix, let's chat. That's not really what this is for.
I mean, it's how do I answer that? My server, the one you're connected to, is general purpose plus liberty. Like it's made to be friends and community and video gaming and fun and jokes and funny comic pictures and memes and also philosophical, rigorous debate about liberty. Other servers around the world owned by other people, who knows? I mean, they can be about anything. It's up to those people. And if your son is a member of those servers, he can still talk to you on this server. And I can show you how to do that. Or you can just have your son join this server and create an account here as well, and then he can talk and be involved just like you are.
Okay, but if his tag sign thing is old man's son, I can't go in here to the main chat and type @old man's son, hi son, how are you doing? Because it's on a completely different network thing.
It is possible.
Okay, I've got that.
No, it is possible, and I can.
Yeah, it's too complicated.
Let me try. and if you don't like it, then you can tell people to forget it. So let's say that you want to give your address, think of it like an email address, to somebody else so that they can contact you. Click on your name, like click on old man there. Yeah, right there. Click that.
Okay.
Oh, I messed that up. Sorry, that was my bad. Click on the little circle, the O next to your name. I gave you bad instructions. Yeah, click that. Yep. So over on the right, you see your address. So you see the big O. You can put a picture there, by the way. But
how do you do that? Do you click on that?
So you would click the little arrow on the top left to the right of old man. So top left of the screen, very top left. Yep. There's a down arrow to the right of your name, just to the right of old man.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep,
Got it.
Down
there.
arrow, and then click on all settings. Now this general screen that you're on now, that's where you can change your display name, by the way. So your display name starts out as whatever you typed in, but you can change it if you want to change your nickname to something else. Click there to upload a file to be your picture. Yep.
Great.
Little upload
Got
button.
It. Okay.
You can change your password. You can add an email address, add your phone number, all kinds of stuff in here, most of which is probably not important. The appearance tab, if you don't. Okay, so we can drown people in information.
Yeah, I think this is good. Okay. And I'll bet you that once you get into the rooms, if I was ever in the main chat room and I was just humble about it and said, "Hey, I'm an old fogey having trouble figuring out a tech issue. Can somebody help me get my picture on my profile?" I'll bet you somebody would do it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, so like I can pretend that you just asked me in main chat like what to give your son so that he can contact you. And I can take the screenshot here like I just did, and I can post it in main chat to show you exactly what address that you need to give your son. So you can see there, I just took a screenshot of your window on the right, and I circled your address. So that @oldman:_disenthrall.me, that's like your email address. Like that's what you would give somebody else that you wanted to contact you.
Okay. Great. Okay, so and I interrupted you, and I don't remember where we were headed. Oh wow! Now it's all over on the right here.
That's a whole bunch of. That's a window you can open and close. Those are all the people in this room. So the little the little I button in the top right is how you open and close that.
Right up here, room info.
It'll give you information on the room and all the people in it. Yep.
Okay, so do you remember you were doing something and then I rudely interrupted you, and I forget what you were sending me when you gave me the picture tutorial. You were showing me something else.
I was trying to show you the address. So like your son could
yes, okay.
Your son could send you his address.
Gotcha.
Just like you found yours. And then you go into your people menu in the top left and click the little plus sign next to people. And then you could paste in your son's address right there in the top box. See, you can see the other people listed. You can see my address, not governor::disenthrall.me. Everybody has their own address.
Okay. And his would just not be disenthrall.me. His would be shootemupgame.com or something like that, because he's in a different thing. Okay, cool.
You can also see yours at the top there.
Well,
in that window.
Okay. So I think this is enough to get going. And then if people if get some old fogies like me in here and they have questions, I would say that if you're watching this video and you have questions, feel free to reach out to Patrick, but we also don't want him to have to go through a tutorial with all 800 of us that I hope join in time. So feel welcome to also just be in touch with me and join up with me. I am Shepito, Shepito, and that's what my name is on the matrix element thing here. So if you just send it to me and say, "Hey, I can't figure out how to get my picture up there," once I get a handful of questions, I can just get back on and we'll do another tutorial like Patrick's doing for us right now and answer those. And every time we get a little handful of them, we can do another video if you're willing, Patrick.
Yeah, of course. Yep. I want to help people learn this technology that is more freeing than these major platforms like Facebook and Twitter.
I agree. Well, thank you so much. Anything else that I haven't asked that I should have?
No, I don't think so. I think that was a pretty good walkthrough. I hope now that my mother can figure this out, even if that's something that she's interested in.
Awesome.
Mom, if you join the server, Mom, if you join the server, it's a freedom server, so it's it's a freedom server.
Be prepared.
Yep. All right.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate this.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. We will catch you next time. Take it easy.